Leo's Legion, another week in the books, and I tell you, I have had 4 days to think about this. Angry analyst, empathetic analyst, angry empathy, back and forth. Too bad the game wasn't back and forth, one-sided as it could be. I'm telling you, there's reasons, there's justification, there's excuses, or is it just plain pissed off? Let's toss it around now. 3 Down Bros, Greg, Arthur, Roland here on BC Day Monday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, holiday Monday. It better be anything but a holiday at the BC practice facility. I tossed it around. Angry analyst, empathetic analyst. This brother is angry. Arthur, Roland, I don't know what analyst you are. My brothers, what's it up?
I'm empathetic. Going in 4 days rest, two games on the road. In Edmonton on Saturday, in Winnipeg on Thursday. Winnipeg's coming off a bye. You're going in there. Second time, I might add, on a short week, going back to Winnipeg. The CFL schedule maker did not do the Lions any favors. And they looked tired. They did not look sharp. And like Winnipeg took advantage of that. Yeah. And full marks to them, they played well.
Yeah.
Full marks to them.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Arthur, but I'm gonna side with Greg here. I am angry. BC could have done better, and they expected better. Disappointing turnout. I think before the game started, we were speaking, all three of us, and I mentioned whoever comes in with the greatest intensity is going to win this game, and there was no intensity from BC. Let's take a look at some stats and get your high level thoughts. Overall offense, Winnipeg was 576, and BC was 230. Passing yards, Winnipeg was 447, BC was 189. Rushing, Winnipeg was 129, BC was 63. Time of possession, you can see it right here. Time of possession, BC was 32 minutes and Winnipeg is 27. So we had more time of possession.
Doesn't take a lot of time to throw a one-bomb touchdown.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Exactly.
Well, sorry, let's finish. So sorry.
Yeah,
I'm angry.
But first downs, BC had, 9 plus 6 plus 2, that's 17. Winnipeg has 13 plus 9 plus 2, that's 24. So 13 to 24 first downs.
That was closer than the score. Jeez.
Yeah. The only positive and
13 to 17. I mean, if you go 13 to 9, so it's 20, 22, 24 to 17.
To 17, yeah.
I would have taken that
down.
score if we lost. I would have definitely taken that score if we lost.
There was some score effects there.
Yeah.
BC was just, they were down by 30, and they I think it was kind of a longer drive.
Yeah. So those are all pretty negative. The only positive is on special teams, actually. Our punting average was 52 yards against Winnipeg's 46.
We got a lot of practice.
Our punt returns, actually just one punt return, 35 yards. Winnipeg's average was 10.7. Kickoff returns, this one we had a lot of practice. But the 32.9 average versus Winnipeg's 18. They only had 2 kickoff returns. So, after our feelings aside, just some quick high-level thoughts from you guys.
Feelings aside?
Feelings included.
Feelings included, okay. So, I have been privileged enough to have been allowed to join a Lions chat group on Facebook. Let's Talk Lions. And it's a great forum. There's a bunch of great people in there. I've been kind of up in the air on how I was going to voice my opinion on this game. So I answered a lot of people, and I think the common thread to my analysis or opinion was the X factor. Winnipeg brought not only the intensity, Roland, but it was fueled by an X factor. And that X factor was they were pissed off, they took it personally, and they wanted to prove it. Now, what pisses me off or angers me as the angry analyst, can I use pissed off on here? You can censor me later. I don't know.
No, you could use it.
But what upsets me so much is you knew the schedule going in. Yes, I understand 4 days rest, 2 times going into Winnipeg after playing Edmonton on 4 days rest. Once Edmonton at home, once Edmonton on the road. Edmonton's a lesser team, I get it. And yes, they still hit you, they still block you, they still whatever. All of that takes a toll. I get it. But you knew going in what it was going to be like. Rick Campbell builds that D-line for rotational depth. You knew going into Winnipeg twice on 4 days rest. Plan ahead. This is what you guys get paid to do. Coaches, right down to the players. Make a scheme. If it doesn't work, adjust. Make a scheme and execute. If it doesn't work, adjust. I know they only had 4 days rest, but if they had somewhat of a scheme ahead of time, go in there and give it your best. They didn't look like they gave it their best. They took 2 punches to the mouth right away. And you know what? In the beginning of these 2 days in between the game and our podcast here, I was empathetic. Talking to all those wonderful people in that forum, I was empathetic. 4 days rest, they got punched in the mouth. The defense was on the field a lot. But I'm sorry. You say that Smoke is a good running back. We're supposed to have an improved offensive line, and we did talk about how suspect they were looking. But maybe they were getting a little bit better. But you knew Winnipeg would be coming. Scheme, scheme, scheme. Come up with something to counter that X factor that you know they're gonna have. You spanked them in their own house. You know what they're gonna be like the second time around in their own house. And if it doesn't work offensively or defensively, fix it. And you know what? Those 2 early big bombs, I don't know if it was scheme. I don't know if it was blown coverage. I don't know what it was, but I just know it wasn't right. And I really do think, and I never brought this up all 4 days I was looking, I don't think that the Lions they were saying all the right stuff. We're going to take it one game at a time, live in the moment, da-da-da-da-da. They started believing their own press clippings. I'm pretty sure. And like Arthur was talking about, yeah, they got conditioned to Cornelius, to Fajardo, and to Mason Fine. And if they thought that defense was going to do it against Caleros, sadly mistaken. There's my high-level thoughts, feelings included. I'm going to stop before I lose my mind here.
All right. Okay. Very passionate feelings, Greg. Arthur, your thoughts.
I told you guys, if they flip the quarterbacks, it just flipped the quarterbacks. BC, Winnipeg, this is a whole different game. Caleros hit those bombs perfectly. You could talk all you want about scheme. They had the 6 offensive linemen come into the game. So Winnipeg schemed up. BC's tired. There's the strength of the BC defense is their rotation on the defensive line, right?
And their speed.
So they went max protection on these bombs, and Caleros had the time, and he threw really good balls. Deep balls, right on the money.
Yeah.
Right on the money. Yeah, Lawler shown they made some good adjustments, and they went to get the ball.
Yeah.
But they were they had a little space. Evans tried to do the same, and we saw what happened.
Yeah.
Little overthrow, wasn't as accurate. You flipped the quarterbacks. Evans tried to throw similar passes to the BC receivers, incomplete or intercepted.
Yeah.
And Caleros hit him. You flip those quarterbacks. What happens? We go in on a short week with our backup quarterback, who was offered around the league for a 4th round draft pick. So he's not the guy. Dave Evans loved this guy. He's not the guy we're going to win a Grey Cup with.
So you're telling me if you just flip the quarterbacks...
Yes. The score is going to be much different. It might be a close game. It might be BC win.
Yeah, well, I'm saying you flip those quarterbacks. I don't think Calero... You got to look at the coverage, too. Those Lions receivers were in a lot tighter coverage than those Winnipeg
Lucky was
receivers.
behind coverage.
True.
Well, on that
Lucky
one,
was more... Lucky was just as open as Lawler was, or Schoen.
Yeah, Lucky dropped the ball actually on one of
No,
them.
He
I'm saying
extended. He
overall.
extended. He extended.
Yeah, on that one. But I'm saying overall, the
Yeah.
Winnipeg secondary was a lot tighter and a lot more aggressive than ours was. But again,
Dane missed some passes.
yeah, he missed a lot. He missed some
He
early
missed
stuff
some
to,
passes.
to
And
get the momentum going.
And
But-
Andrew
Caleros didn't
too.
have a banner game in terms of completions. 19 for 27. He had those big bombs.
Yeah, that's the big bombs. The big bombs was what killed us. And
Well, then
If you look at the BC stats, Keon Hatcher was targeted 11 times, had 4 receptions.
yeah,
is that bad throws? That good coverage? Because Winnipeg, I mean, they had 2 guys come back to their secondary
Then
that weren't
D.
in that first
Rimes
game.
had 7 targets and 4 receptions. Those are your 2 big play guys with Lucky deep. I'm just saying you flip the quarterbacks, it's a completely different game. We went in there short week without our guy. Without our starting quarterback. So you know what? We've been in Winnipeg twice in short weeks. It's time for them to come to BC.
Yep.
Come and then let's just have a normal schedule and let's see how it goes.
okay.
So I'm willing to you know what? BC's already proven early this year that they can go in IG Field and win with their starting quarterback. So they made that statement. Winnipeg needed this game, and then they punched BC in the mouth, and BC couldn't respond.
BC had nothing.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
okay,
I mean.
and
They
also
had nothing.
and Dominic Davis came in. I mean, Evans got roughed up
Yeah.
sometime in the second quarter, so we had our third string quarterback for half the game.
Yeah, but the game at that point it was what 27-4 at the end of the first half.
Okay.
Does Campbell
CFL.
challenge that call, by the way? I want to throw that out there. I got some questions to ask our watchers, our followers, our listeners, whatever they are. Just that they're awesome people for tuning into this thing. But yeah, I want some opinion out there, Leo's Legion. Are you an angry fan or are you an empathetic fan? All I know, and I agree with Arthur, they got to come to our house now. And
Yeah.
let's say all things equal, starting quarterbacks are both there. I mean, there's nothing we can do about injuries. Let's be honest. But yes, they're coming in here on the same amount of rest we are. We're at home. We better have that X factor. And I talked about that in that Lions forum. We better have that X factor. That O-line and our D-line and every single player to a man better take this personal.
Exactly.
Well, if you want bulletin board material, put that stupid saying up there by that big mouth Lawler about we're the dogs and we proved it. Go shut that dog's mouth up. Do it with your play. Do it with the tackling. But smack him in the mouth within the rules and let's get our swagger back. Because I'm sorry, listening to Lawler, looking at O'Shea, looking at Caleros, it pissed me off. That smugness, running up the score. I don't care. Running up the score is fine because it's an interdivisional thing. I get it.
Yeah.
But you can do it with some class. And Winnipeg has no class. And that to me is leadership down. That's my opinion. If you agree, please let me know. Let us know on Twitter, Facebook, Instant, whatever. Let us know. If you disagree, let us know. But I got sick of hearing that stuff. And I didn't look at any media, I gotta be honest. But I was sick of hearing all that in-game stuff. The panelists, whatever. Toss out those TSN panelists. But I'm sorry, hearing those players, looking at those players' faces, it pissed me off.
All right.
Sorry, that's high-level emotion, no high-level thoughts there.
No worries.
It's just
no worries.
pure opinion.
It's personal. It's personal with Greg.
Heck yeah, it's personal.
It is.
I love these guys.
Exactly.
And I get pissed off when they don't show up, and they didn't show up.
Yeah.
If you want to see it wasn't that long ago, Gary, he's sitting there, right? Gary Peters is sitting there saying, well, this number one defense hasn't happened overnight. We worked at it. Where was that work on Thursday? Yeah, you're tired. I get it. But you knew what you were going into.
Still needed to show up. All right. So let's jump into some plays. We'll start off looking at some positives. There were a few positives. So let's take a look at some positive plays. So this first one here was, here, let's just jump right into it. It's a 26-yard pass to Hatcher.
Amazing what happens when he gets some protection.
Yeah, so here's another angle. So this was in the second quarter. So one of the few positives. So there were some positives. What do you like about this play? Let's spend a few minutes on positives.
Well, like I said, it's amazing what Dane Evans can do when he just gets, and I don't mean, protection, like just that he's not even hurried, that he has time to survey the field, go through his reads, and doesn't have to worry about the happy feet or trying too hard.
Yeah. All right.
4-man Russians, good protection.
Yeah, good protection.
Well executed play.
It's got time. Next positive here is an interception by Moore. Moore is actually he was filling in, right?
For Josh Banks, I believe.
Yeah.
It's his first game. Well, that's what happens when you have more than 4 days rest, guys. He had energy.
That's true. Well, he was excited too. It's his first game.
But look at that, focused, and he did it against a guy. Brady Oliveira, right? He did it against Brady Oliveira. Wow.
Yeah. So he hits the ball there, and then catches it. So that's not just a plain catch. That was knocking the ball and then catching it.
Yeah, that's staying with the play. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. So nice positive there. Let's take a look at the next positive. This one was here, I'll just play it. You guys can see. So tackle there. Running back loses the ball. Tackled by Edwards. Cooper Lacombo picks it up and runs it in. So this was in the fourth quarter. I mean, the score was, kind of out of hand by then.
Somewhat decided.
But still a positive.
They still played hard till the end, right?
Yeah.
As hard as they could have in the tank. I will give it that. They're out of gas. I get it.
Yeah.
They play hard. They still play hard here, right? I mean, they're not like dogging it, right? They're still going. They're still trying to tackle and engage.
I'll give them that. They got their pride, but still, it's just that slow start and that just looking lost, confused, and sluggish in the beginning. It angers me. I can't say anything else. I mean, how many times do you go on short days rest in football? I mean, I know football, hockey, two different sports, but 2 games in 3 nights, 3 games in 4 nights. They don't always not show up. I get it, but
those are called scheduled losses in hockey for a reason.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you can. I mean, it all depends, right? Against a top opponent who's waiting for you, it's a little different. And football is a different sport too, right? It's
an opponent waiting on him with hate on. I get it, because I mean, hey, if it was game 1 of these 2 ones, it might not have been so bad. But they like I said, they had the X factor, which we better be bringing in that game at our house.
Well, the Bombers, they're a championship pedigree team. They know that if they lose a second game at home to the same BC Lions, it's over for the West.
Yeah, for first
place. They got
place,
pride. I mean, you knew they were going to come out hard.
They did have pride.
And so now that's happened. We know we got to come out hard.
Well, pride.
I think is what Coach Campbell said is they needed to play a pretty near perfect game to come out of this game with a win, and they didn't execute. They didn't execute close to that.
Yeah, I mean, pride,
and that's why they could. And you got to give Winnipeg a whole bunch of credit.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like BC came in and then Winnipeg executed very well on offense, very very well on offense.
Yeah.
Those
especially
weren't lucky
Q1
plays downfield.
No, yeah.
That quarterback,
they
was
were
right on the money.
Okay.
But like I said when I was chatting to some of those great people in that forum, it's like Winnipeg had 13 days to prepare, to practice, to stew, to steam, and to just get pissed off. They had 13 days to package it all. Their execution better have been perfect with 13 days to prepare.
Yeah.
Wow, it's
Right?
more-
And yes,
it's
they
more
are a
than 30.
championship team. I'll give it that.
And that's why
And
they're
yes,
the
how much
championship.
preparation do we have?
Yeah, that's why they're the championship team, right? It's not just the pride. It's that hunger and that killer instinct, right? They're coming in here. They're gonna win this game, and from the get go, that was the attitude.
Right.
So
But if these Lions are going to take over that championship pedigree mantra, they got to do better than this. I know it's 4 days rest, but they got, like you said, they got to show up.
yeah,
I'm not worried because in the playoffs there won't be any game with a 4-game rest.
I get, yeah, true enough. But
Yeah.
they take that first shot. Okay, fine, that knocked you on your heels. But my God, have some pushback, something. Smack the guy on special teams. Do something.
yeah.
That's all I'm asking. Something. They had nothing.
These were nice passes, man. Right on the money.
My empathy
Well-
tank is at 0.
We'll take a look at those passes in a little bit.
Stick with those passes.
Do we have to
But just
relive
quickly
it
looking
again?
at this play here, it's listed as Edwards Cooper forcing a fumble, but he didn't really force the fumble. He just made the tackle, and his Oliveira lost it himself. Look at where the ball is.
Yep. Well, I mean, come on. Look at what the score was. He's playing loosey goosey.
Yeah. So. Okay. Anyway, so those are the positives. Now, okay, since you guys are going back to the discussion, we're gonna look into the next set of plays is basically a few key plays from the first quarter. And this is where I think BC imploded from the get-go, right? So let's walk through these plays. I want your thoughts on what's going through BC's mind. Do you think what's going through Winnipeg's mind, and how as the quarter progresses, what's happening, right? So here's one of the first plays in our first drive. It's a Mitchell 3-yard rush. So tries to go down the middle, gets stuffed for, just a small gain, 3 yards. 3 yards on first down, not really that successful. I would say 4 or 5 yards would be better. This was 14:37, so this was near the beginning of the game. Okay. What would be your thoughts so far at this point in the game? So this was our first offensive play after the kickoff.
You know the snap count. You know the play. Why on earth, if it's a running play, are our O-linemen a yard to 2 or 3 behind the line of scrimmage?
They're all bunched
You
up.
knew the snap count. You knew the play. You knew when to fire off the ball. I'm sorry. Disappointing.
Yeah.
What's going through Winnipeg's mind? They got nothing. Game's ours. They made that decision real early.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably made that decision in the locker room. I get it with that championship pedigree and all that crap. But right then and there, they knew our O-line had nothing.
Yeah. The intensity was kind of like a foreshadowing here already.
There's 7 bombers in the box, buddies. I mean, I know if he's going like A gap, B gap, there's nowhere to go. Look at that. They're
They
all.
bounce it outside.
Well, I mean, that's the play call, right? I mean, that's Mitchell, then. It's not the O-line. I mean, there's 7 bombers right there, and then the 8th is coming in.
But look, every one of our O-line are stood up. I don't care how many guys are in the box. If you get one-on-one, that's 5 guys you put out of the way. Put them in the way of the extra 2 in the box.
Yeah.
But when you're stood up on a play that you know the count, you know the gap, you know the play, that's sad.
Yeah.
Look at our tackle. Look at Perkins. Upright.
Yeah, he needs to be driving
right
forward.
across the line. Sorry, Pearson is short, stocky, low gravity. If it's through his gap, he should have been in the midsection of his guy driving him back. He knows the count. He knows the play. Enough said.
Yeah.
I'm probably waking up my neighbors here, but I don't care.
I guess you can see that I think we were outcoached too. I mean, Winnipeg probably studied the loss and the this is just one of many plays where they beat us on the scheme.
It's
right?
if it's the first offensive play, of course BC's going to try to establish a running game if they're tired, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the first offensive play of a football game usually it's a run, right? I mean, if anything, it's Evans should have made an audible, and then like threw it to Lucky in the flat there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
I mean,
Play action, Lucky in the flat.
Yeah. He should have audible it because it was very obvious that they're stacking the box.
Yeah, that's right. You can see that.
I mean, if you really want to, lay blame at somewhere.
All right. So that's first play. Next play was an attempted pass to Rhymes, incomplete.
Pressure.
And
almost picked off.
Almost picked off right there.
That's a desperation throw by Evans, because I'll tell you, you want our thoughts on what was going through the Lions' mind right now?
Yeah.
Oh, poop. I can't say that other word here.
Yeah.
But that's Evans. That's a panic throw, and I mean can you say double coverage? Yeah, maybe not. That guy shot up, jumped on that ball, but
in a way, it was fortunate he had pressure because he got rid of it earlier.
Well, hindsight being what it is, could he have gone to that receiver right out there in the front? I don't know who that is.
Lucky. I mean, it would have been.
No, there's no way he can see that. No.
And
no, he's under duress.
Well, there's Lucky at the bottom of the screen. I'm talking at the top of the screen. He wouldn't have seen him because his back's to that guy. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about this guy here?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think he's already snowed under by the time that guy clears all the crowd anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was going through the Lions' minds? Oh crap! Winnipeg, we got this.
Yeah, but almost intercepted here. The ball could have been thrown better too. So going.
Pretty hard with 2-3 guys on you, around you, and in you.
Yeah. All right, so we lose possession, we punt. First play for Winnipeg, they got there was a penalty, so they actually had to move back. So they were 1st and 15, and then we get this.
For a split second, I was hoping for a safety.
Yeah, I was too. So, yeah, another angle here.
Did they have 6 guys there in protection?
Let's see.
Was that a blown coverage? Because what the heck is Betts doing back there?
Yeah, he was covering.
Dropping back.
The scheme, I get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus, you want to call Oliveira 6?
Plus Oliveira, yeah. And we rushed 5.
Looks like there was some kind of cover too, and then TJ just up ET. And there's no one else that TJ should have really been worried about because there's no one.
Did Betts drop all the way back?
He
made it back that far that fast?
Yeah, it's like there's no way for TJ's got to cover that corner. I mean, there's no one around him. I mean, he's your best defensive back and your defensive leader, right? So he was a little caught napping.
Yeah.
But I think Winnipeg had the perfect play called again. 13 days to prepare. They saw that formation. Can we rewind it back to where we started to play? What was Betts on the line of scrimmage?
Okay, let's see.
Because that's a long way for him to drop back right off the line.
No, he was there.
Yeah, he was here.
Well, he was really wide.
So he's wide here.
Yeah, okay. So he just had to go. Okay, yeah. So he wasn't up in his normal spot. Okay.
Yeah. So the moment his man runs, he's after his man.
So Winnipeg, I think Winnipeg dialed up the proper play for that coverage. They knew that formation. They had to.
Yeah.
Well, you're 1st and 15. There's a pretty good chance BC's going cover 2, right?
Yeah.
And he could have hit both receivers. I think.
Wow, no. I mean, Gary turned around when the ball was in the air, so.
You don't think he could hit Schoen a little bit earlier?
Well, Gary would have had a beat on it. Peters would have had a beat on it.
Okay.
Yeah, Peters is right.
I mean,
there.
Lawler's a better throw and a lower risk throw, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're not going to throw that pass. You're sitting in your end zone, and Peters can potentially pick it off at the 17-yard line.
Yeah. Good point.
Oh, wow. Did we actually knock an O-lineman on his back? Well, too little, too late.
Look at that. Like there was a coming in, right?
Yeah, he was half a second.
Yeah, just half a second.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
That's a good throw. Hey, you got to give Zach.
I'll give it to him.
It
I'll
is,
give it
yeah.
to him. But again,
He's an MOP, right?
Yeah, and again, you got 13 days to practice. It better be on the money. But again, I'm still pissed off. I have to be because
Sure.
that looks. It's like.
yeah.
But I'm going to chalk that up to when we watched this game, boys. I remember we were talking. Was that a blown coverage or was that a scheme? I think Winnipeg had the perfect play call. It's not a bad formation or bad play calls. 1st and 15, we play one of our most. I'm sure Ryan's got it in his book as one of the most dependable defensive plays for a 1st and 15, backed up there. But Winnipeg had the perfect call for it.
TJ's got to be over there, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I mean, there was no point for him to be where he was, right? Especially with 2 receivers.
I'm not giving TJ any excuse about being tired because this is what 5 minutes into the game, 6 minutes in. So yeah, I agree with you, Arthur. He has to be over there. But again, maybe the times they've executed this, and maybe they're paying attention to their press clippings. Maybe they just weren't ready. Sharp, I don't know. But yeah, that's on us. But I don't think it was a scheme thing. I just think there's execution by the players. But I don't think it was a bad scheme. It's just a perfect play call, and we just couldn't.
Okay.
We couldn't. There we go.
All right. So next play immediately is Sean's turn.
Blitzing. BC's blitzing. Probably a hold there. But we won't say that. And TJ got burned again.
Yeah, that was painful. Here's another angle. Actually,
He ran right
Did
by
they have-
TJ. Was TJ expecting help?
they got
Hard to say in
So-
this view.
they got 6 linemen on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And
With Oliveira, and then two receivers that are going
running through one of
left
the
to right.
receivers.
And I think someone's
Yeah.
staying in.
Yeah, this guy stays
The block.
here. So this
And BC's
receiver
blitzing, right? So
Yeah.
we'll just check the hold. Potential hold.
Where?
Well, you have to let it run.
Okay.
Right now it's 2. They're all locked up, right? 91.
Yeah, 91 could have been held. Yeah.
Let's see.
Right here.
Here you go.
Oh yeah, his shoulder pads up around his ear. So that
You gotta let it
guy's
run
waiting
a
to
bit
take
more.
Oliver out.
Yeah.
This guy's basically wasted coverage because he's where he is. He's just out of. He's where he is. But I think TJ got caught flat-footed because Sean looked like he ran right by him.
But look at that hold. I mean, does the DN go down like that? Is that natural, Greg?
Yeah. No.
When he
this is the
trips
hold
over
here.
the gopher that popped up there, yeah, that's natural if he trips on a gopher.
So, like who's tripping?
You see the D lineman, he trips on the little gopher that popped up there, so there's no
Oh,
holding
the
there.
gopher. Okay,
It's a
making
gopher he tripped on. There's one big gopher that come up and bite your
Making
feet.
a joke. I get it. I was like,
No,
what? That's
a
like
whole-
code.
That's a freaking tackle.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty plain sight for the head referee, right?
For this referee right here, number 40,
Yeah.
45.
Oh,
and
there's
the
only
ref in the
two.
white
There's
hat.
only 2 of them, but
Yeah, four eyes.
Yeah, and I think maybe like Sales and TJ, like maybe they're switching and
Signals got crossed up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jay,
Good.
wonder why Sales got left as a free agent.
He was a CFL All-Star last year. Don't forget.
All-star, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, one play, right? You're gonna get burned.
Okay, so
Just that
now-
they got burned a lot in one game.
Yeah. Two big plays back to back here. That's that.
So now you've got the fans into it. You've got the Bombers into it. Caleros is in a rhythm. He's feeling invincible, and so is that old line.
Yeah, and this is where you need to have some mental toughness to hunker down and get back into the game, right?
I mean, to your point, Roland. Yeah, I mean, they have to do something, and I don't say they folded, but maybe like, okay, this is not our night, right? And then you can play the excuses back in your mind. And not saying they did, but it's a little voice in you. You're like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
You're getting punched in the mouth, and
Yeah.
they just needed to conjure up some type of momentum, and they
Yeah.
got one on that fumble return for a touchdown. but they couldn't. I mean, again, it was a bit
Q4,
late.
that was
Okay,
Q4,
okay.
yeah.
Need I conjure up Gary Peters that, hey, football is like life. It wraps you in the mouth, punches, knocks you down. You got to have the toughness to get back up. This was, I don't know what, less than 10 minutes into the game? They didn't get back up. And if they did mentally fold, if they said not our night and just went through the rest of the motions, they don't deserve to call themselves professional football players. They don't deserve to use the lines that football is like life and it punches you and you got to learn to roll with it and get up. I'm sorry. They better not have folded. I would love to have been on the sidelines to see what was
I don't think
talked
they
about.
I don't think they folded. I mean, they still tried. I mean, yeah, they didn't execute at a high level, and Winnipeg did, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think they folded. I mean, you still see them trying. You still see them tackling. I mean, it's not like
better not have been in their mind that this is not their night. That cannot enter your mind as a professional football player or a professional athlete in any sport.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe hockey because it's an 82 game season. You got your ebbs and flows, whatever. But when you got 16 games in a 9-team league, and you know who you got to go through to get to that Grey Cup, that thought can't enter your mind. But I would love to have been on that sideline to see what was discussed after this series.
I would say in a 9-team league, they got it one game in week 9 doesn't make a difference. I hate to say it. In a 9-team league, it's all about getting hot in October.
I mean, what you say
you just have to be
statistically,
the third place team in your conference
yeah.
and your division, and you just win 2 road games, and you're in the Grey Cup.
Yeah,
No,
2 road games. We've seen what happened to the road teams.
What you say is right.
You see what happens with
But-
like the home team for the Western Final, the Eastern Final. Sometimes they don't make it out. Yeah, it's maybe a 65% chance they win. That means there's a 35% chance they lose.
Yeah, statistically you're right,
chance they lose.
Arthur.
I'm sorry.
Statistically you're right.
You cannot have that thought enter your mind. I'm standing firm. You cannot have the thought,
statistically-
this ain't our night, enter your mind. as a
Statistically you're
professional
right, but then that's what differentiates a regular team from a championship team. A championship team doesn't care about the statistics. They've got their pride and they've got their killer instinct.
Well, I mean, that's
Right, so-
when and Winnipeg has the championship pedigree.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like two years out of 3, and really, if they made the field goal, they would have been 3 out of 3, right? I mean, this is not a slouch team. This is a really good team, and they
That's right.
executed well.
Yeah.
So that I'm just saying, don't let that. If you want to be the man, beat the man, whatever that metaphor is or that saying, if you want to take over that mantra of pedigree, championship pedigree, whatever it is, you cannot let that thought enter your mind. That's all I'm saying. You cannot think, well, this ain't our night. Oh well, you can't think that.
Who knows? I mean, I don't know what I don't know what they think, right? So they never said that.
Yeah.
Right? They never.
I
said
would
that.
love to be able to go to the facility and say, hey, can I talk to talk to one deeper, and just if we could have been a fly on the wall, or on the Gatorade bucket. If we could have been a fly on the Gatorade bucket. I want to know what Ryan Phillips said to these guys after that. First and 15 inside the 5.
No one would ever admit to you that they're saying, "Oh, we're gonna throw in the towel. This is it."
Yeah.
They're gonna fight to the left. They're gonna fight to the whistle, right?
Is Ryan Phillips ripping them a new one? Is he encouraging them, or is he just not saying anything? That's what I want to know. Because I remember, I think on the TSN broadcast, there is a shot of Ryan Phillips after this series or during this series.
He was shaking his head. I was wondering if it's probably just poor execution on the secondaries.
Yeah, not yet. So after this series, we get the ball back, and I don't know what they talked about in the sidelines, but let's see what happens. So next series, so when we get the ball back, we have one incomplete, one complete, and get a touchdown. A first down, and then another incomplete, and then we third and one here. And we didn't make it. Right, 3rd and 1, and we didn't make it. No sense in the replay. There was no push. We couldn't make it, and our offense, fizzled out.
You knew the play. You knew the snap count. Not saying anymore.
Yeah, just like that first play, right, with the 3-yard. So we lose the ball on downs. next play, next offensive play. So our defense is back on the field.
After what? A 30-second rest?
No, more than that. It was from 12:10 to 9:06, so they got 3 minutes because we got one first down. So next play, this is the first play, and it's another deep bomb, and we got beat again. So, like you guys said,
that's a good ball. I'm not going to argue. That was in the coverage, on the money.
I mean, I think the coverage was there this time.
Oh yeah.
Right, and that was just a perfect throw.
Yeah.
And he had enough separation for that throw to be where it was.
Yeah.
And again, how many in protection? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is McCray the 7th guy?
McCray and Oliveira, 8 people.
Oh, 8. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So 6 linemen.
And then
Oliveira.
Oliveira takes the
7.
blitzing linebacker,
Rubunga, and then trickles out. Does he peel out? No, he doesn't.
No, he sticks with Rubamba.
So
Perfect ball.
So is Mojay a little late reacting?
No, I mean
No.
they had a blitz on.
it was, but they
They had
up,
a blitz.
they picked up on our
Your game
blitz.
plan. Great. As you know, is your scheme is we're blitzing. We're gonna probably get to the quarterback.
Oh no, sorry, Mojay. I think Mojay takes Dembski.
Well, yeah, because then that is like Dempsey's gonna open, right? So he's probably thinking Dembski. You had to take Dembski. But Zach goes, hey, I got Lawler deep. 1-on-1, and he got inside, and he's doing a post, and he's got inside position, so he's going for it. Because he could have.
Lawler there.
I think it was Sales, but he could have like did a corner pattern to Dembski, and Dempsey would have got it too.
True. Well.
Okay.
Maybe.
Is this Mauger?
Mojay's in position.
Yeah, he releases when he sees the ball going this way.
Mojay,
But I think Sales was already beat. I mean, once you pan to the ball, I think Sales is beat.
Okay, who is that? Woods there under the TSN logo. Is that Woods or is that TJ Lee? I can't tell if it's a 6 or a 2. It's too small.
Looks like TJ.
I think that's TJ. Yeah.
Okay, so is he supposed to take that corner?
Oh, I don't know what the scheme wearing is. Looks like cover 1.
Yeah.
Anyways, let it run.
Perfect play call, perfect execution, perfect ball. I get it. I'm not again. What's going through the line's mind? Oh crap.
Yeah, but you see, the first game we played Winnipeg, we sacked their quarterback 7 times.
We're already in Polaros' grill by now. If it's that first game.
Yeah, but they adjusted, right? They got 6 linemen. They got
how many guys do they have in protection?
So they made an adjustment.
Yeah, they made an adjustment. And BC didn't adjust prior to this game, and
no, BC didn't have time, like you said. And I'll say 4 games rest, but still, maybe you spend a little bit extra time if you're a championship team or want to be one. You spend a little extra time having a game plan or 2 ready for this game because you know you're going on 4 days rest.
Yeah. So
how many did BC send there? Yeah, they blitzed. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, 6 guys. Yeah.
And they had 7. They had 7 to block.
So that means we had 6 to cover 5.
Yeah, and then they got beat deep. It was man to man.
Because basically, Lacombo and Lee are where they are useless. Like to be to cover, to be useful in covering those 5 because we outnumber them, right? If they keep 7 in to take our 6, that means we got 1 extra guy to cover. But where those 2 guys are doesn't help.
That's right. Yeah.
I believe they call that puck support in hockey.
Well, I mean, you're gonna go for the home run. I mean, it's not they're playing 1-on-1 on Lawler.
So
I think that's you got that many days to prepare. 13 days. That's called and that's practiced.
Yeah. So Winnipeg did their homework.
Sure. They better have for 13. Again, like you guys say, they're a championship team. They're not going to get spanked twice at home. And again, that's that X factor. That is fueled by personal pride, defending your home turf.
Yeah.
And we better have that.
That's a beautiful ball. That's such a beautiful ball. I mean,
spoken like the quarterback fan that he is. See, Beautiful, I'll give it that. But again, perfect play call by Buck Pierce. I got to give credit to Buck Pierce on that one too, because again, he's done his film work.
Yeah.
But we got Calgary the next game, and then I don't know, and then circle that Winnipeg game. From this point on, those lines better have a chip on their shoulder for every single home game they got coming.
Yeah. So
it's going to be a fight from now to the end of the year. I don't care. What are we at now? Week 9?
Week 9, yeah. We're week 10 this week.
We're almost halfway through the season. Yeah, it's going to be a dogfight now.
So after...
They got Winnipeg come in at home. They don't go to Winnipeg anymore. They don't go to Toronto. You know, they got to beat the teams. And then, you know what? They got a lot of home games coming up. They have a road-heavy schedule to begin. You know, they got to win their games at home and kind of be competitive on the road.
It is absolutely mandatory they win at home and win convincingly. And I don't mean by score. Yeah, I wanted 50 against Edmonton, but they better win convincingly by effort. Like every hit better rattle some teeth. Every ball pass better be on the money. Every run block better be devastating. Every run, they haven't played. I don't think I've seen nastiness on this Lions team since the mid '80s, and then maybe the '90s under Dave Ritchie when we had Rob Murphy. We have not had a nasty O-line in a long, long time.
Yeah. So anyway, after this, it's 14-0, and you guys alluded to this. This is the shot on our defensive coordinator right after that.
Yeah. So my question is, why isn't he going out there addressing those guys as they're coming off the field?
Well, and then there's another shot here. He does talk to them.
Good.
And after he talks to them, he walks away with that body language. So not a good look, right?
He's frustrated. I mean, what do you think? He's frustrated at the scheme, he's frustrated at the execution, or both?
Yeah.
If he's frustrated at the scheme, that's on him. And if he walks away from his men like that and it's his scheme, that's a no-no.
Yeah, but even if it's execution, you shouldn't walk away from your players.
No, if it's execution, he should be there. Unless they have a relationship. Okay, I'm cooling down now because I'm drinking a lot of ice water. But maybe they have a relationship and he went to them and they go, we effed up. That's on us. And he's like, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I highly doubt it, but these guys have been together a while now. So maybe he's giving them free rein to talk amongst themselves.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't see any anger there. They should be embarrassed and they should be minimally pissed off.
It's hard. I mean, that's just a small clip. But I mean, obviously, they have a standard and they're not meeting it. Like what you want to call scheme, execution, or whatever effort. I mean, hard to quantify effort, but we can definitely look at execution and we can definitely look at scheme, right? And that definitely this is not up to their standards, and I could see why he's disappointed, frustrated. Does he need to be angry? Hey, they need to be disciplined, right? I mean, whatever. Like if If being angry invokes you to have better execution, sure, right? You just have to be ready for the next play. Like, you know, like whatever emotion you need to have, they need to bring that for the next play. So I don't think they need to be necessarily angry. They just have to be focused and dial in for the next play. So whatever emotion they need.
Well, maybe we caught that clip at the end. Maybe he already had his words. And they agree, and they said, and he walks away, and he's just going, "Dang," you know, and that's just the last bit of his venting. And maybe he already said something. We don't know.
Yeah,
I always say that we don't know.
But of course, TSN is going to pick this, right? So,
same time, their standards of, like you said, Arthur, Edmonton, Montreal, Saskatchewan with a backup quarterback. Maybe the standard was reached, and they said it, and they're thinking, okay, that's what we got. That's the level we need to execute at. Well, Winnipeg's another notch above those guys, and maybe that's what they're discussing right there. Don't know.
I mean, they Nina, I remind you, they did go to Winnipeg on the road and beat them convincingly on the road. So it's not like they can't execute there.
But this time they didn't. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm angry.
Well, they're 1-1 in Winnipeg on 2 short weeks.
Don't care. I waited a week to see this game. I had you guys over. I had to concentrate on my day job to get to that point, and that's what effort they come up with. Yeah, they went in there already, beat them. And why didn't they do it again? Or at least make it competitive. That's what, if they made it competitive, like Roland said, if they showed up and lost, fine.
Yeah.
Going in there with your second string quarterback, going in there without your starting nose tackle, yeah, fine. At least make it competitive.
All right, so let's go to the next play. This was still in the first quarter. I don't know if this, let me see, I'll tell you if it's the exact next, it's the exact next offensive series. Let me play that. So
can we call their offensive play offensive? Ha ha ha. I've been waiting to use that all week.
So Lucky actually beat his guy.
Oh, come on. But he's diving, it's off his fingertips. I mean, that's a hard catch.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, I got a question. Any other player from, say, Lions teams of the past make that kind of effort? I'm just throwing that out there. You know which receiver I speak.
See,
so what should have happened
if
here?
Caleros is throwing that ball, it hits Lucky and he's running into the end zone.
He's hitting Lucky in stride. Agreed. And there was somebody that posted in that forum, you know what? Evans was throwing the ball well. The Lions receivers have to catch him. And I said, respectfully, must disagree.
He's launching himself, and it's off the fingertips.
Yeah, and that is full extension, perfectly timed launch, and it is still, you need at least that many at least a knuckle to get some flexion on the ball, and that ball was here.
Yeah.
It wasn't there.
That's why I say you flip the quarterbacks, see what happens.
Okay, so this is on Evans. So in this series, we got 1 point. We got a punt single. So now it's 14.
There you go.
14-1.
These aren't getting shut over.
Yeah. Next play I want to show you.
I put us in a different tier than Edmonton. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, but Lucky got his guy beat here, which is good. Our next offensive drive. So
this is painful, man.
Our next offensive drive. We try to run. We get like 1 yard. Okay.
And 1, 2, 3, 4 O linemen not engaged.
Someone got beat. Like that's a defense to run against, and they got beat. There's 6 guys there, but then
well, they're all free.
Roll it back.
Like, it's only number 5 who's kind of somewhat engaged. All the others are free.
I'm gonna say again, you knew the play, you knew the snap count. They're rushing 4, and then a couple later, or they just coming up and run support, whatever it is.
4 and 2 run support.
Okay, Pearson has left his guy
to engage in the second layer, but I don't know what. Like, I'm not sure where he was trying to go.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. All I'm going to say is you knew the play, you knew the snap count. Like, it's run blocking. Why are you not locked up with anybody
there's a little
at the whistle?
Little tap there, then he disengages. And the guy goes back and makes a tackle. Yeah, so that's that guy.
Yeah. The Couture got kind of beat center. Very easily, actually.
The left guard doesn't take... The left guard allows this guy to get through.
He whiffs to go get that second level.
Yeah, and then maybe the left tackle's supposed to get him, but he misses. Yeah, at this point, that guy.
Because the nose tackle's already on the ground. You see, Couture left. Okay, that was Couture, and then Mitchell had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
with all due respect to the community football team that I started my coaching career with. Couldn't call it a career, it was volunteer with kids, but I loved it. Those kids were 8 years old. And those old linemen, you teach these kids, block the guy in front of you. It's the beginning of run play, elementary blocking. They lock up with the guy in front of them. Now, at the same time, those defensive kids, they lock up with the old lineman, and they're just like this. They're locked and they're engaged. No, you defensive kids, go get the guy with the ball. Now, it takes a while to teach those kids that because they're 8 years old. These guys, been playing a lot longer than 8 years old, and those O linemen should know to stay engaged. But those got to give Winnipeg credit. Like you said, Ro, a tap and then go get the ball carrier. Those O linemen in the lines didn't know what hit them because it was such a quick, hard tap. They're on their heels. Mitchell's toast.
Yeah.
And he had nowhere to run.
Yeah. It was, it's the left tackle here misses the guy. The left tackle's supposed to get that guy. But,
no, I'm again, what's going through their minds?
He misses, yeah.
Like, who was I supposed to? They look confused. And again, we're only 10 minutes into the first quarter. They can't be mentally fatigued yet. They better not be mentally fatigued yet.
Yeah. But as we said in the last few episodes, our O-line has been steadily kind of, losing ground from where they were at the beginning of the season. They needed to really step up today for this game. So that was that. And then the very next play, we get an interception.
Oh, yikes.
So, that was
darn good coverage. Why he's throwing there, I have no idea.
That was tough.
Let's take a look. I want to see how open he is, or how.
There.
Yeah. It was just that was not.
Yeah. Do you want to call it a 50-50 ball?
No. I mean, he was better in position than Hollands to get the ball.
Yeah.
But see, like you said before, they're conditioned going against the Edmonton secondary, the Montreal secondary, the Saskatchewan secondary.
Actually, I think
going to Holland worked.
He threw the same interception against Edmonton, I believe. Or was it Saskatchewan? He threw the same interception deep to Hollands, and then, I think this has happened before.
Yeah.
And this is well covered. He should have just threw it away. But this is kind of like a punt, because they just launched it deep.
Yeah. Okay. So that was that, and one more play at the end of the first quarter. This was okay. This one I thought was questionable. I don't know what you guys thought. So, he swings his arm, but he pulls the ball back.
That was a pump fake. Enough said.
Yeah, it was a pump fake, and then he drops the ball. But
incomplete pass, mine.
Yeah, we
record that rhymes with pass.
Yeah. So I think that was
and
a
again,
blown
it's
call.
those same four eyes that were there on that tackle of our number 91 tripping on the gopher. That holding call, that tackle, those are those same four eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, MOP doesn't make errors like that, Greg.
No, I know. Unless the MOP is a BC line. then it's a fumble. Yeah.
It's okay as long as we get those calls in the playoffs. That's what I always say, man. Like a call in week 8, week 9, I don't care too much.
Yeah.
We get them in the playoffs.
There's the key word, as long as. We may not. That's what bugs me. That we could do a whole show on officiating inconsistency, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So those are the highlights of the first quarter. Really bad quarter. These are the stats at the end of the first quarter. At this point, we were in a big hole, but a championship team can dig themselves out of this hole, right?
Yeah, it's 13 points. Right?
All you need is a score.
Yeah.
One major would have answered that back.
Yeah.
And they almost had it if there's a little bit of touch on that pass to Lucky.
Yeah, it would have been 14-8.
I don't know. I had a limited view of Dane Evans playing in Hamilton, other than highlight packages. I don't know, is it me or does it when he loads up to throw a deep ball, it looks like he's throwing a sack of potatoes. He makes that ball look like it weighs a ton.
I'm just saying, you take back 3 passes for Winnipeg, and you have that one pass completion to Lucky. It's 8-0 BC after the first quarter.
Yeah.
Do you agree, Greg? 8-0 BC.
If we take away what?
Yeah, or 7-0 BC. Like those deep passes to Zach.
Yeah.
Bang on.
Yeah.
Dane's throwing those same passes.
If you flip the quarterbacks, you're saying the score's different? Perhaps.
This right now, it would be 7-0 BC on the road.
Yeah.
And the defense's coverage, everything's the same. Just flip the quarterbacks.
Flip the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Flip 4 throws.
Yeah,
Four throws.
quite possibly. But all I have to say is, you know what? I know we have no sponsors. I know we have no revenue stream. I know we have no product placement. But I sat through that game live, and you just made me watch that first couple quarters again. Right here, boys. Right here. Does anybody see what that is? That's what I need right now after watching that again. I'm not putting any product names out there, but we
just
all
the
know
color.
what that is.
I think all you need is the color.
Man.
Let's just move on. Better.
But well, I don't have any. I didn't queue up any more plays because I think the first
Thank
quarter was
goodness.
the first quarter was kind of representative of the whole game. First quarter was 14-1. Second quarter it's 13-3. Third quarter is 10-4, and fourth quarter is 13-6. So at the end it was 50-14. It was a complete blowout. Although I was calculating with Arthur, the game that we beat them, what was the score? It was
30-6.
30-6. So if you look at the percentage-wise, we actually have a higher percentage. 14 out of 50 is higher than 6 out of 30. But I don't take any consolation in that.
No, but hey, it sounds pretty good. Just like if you just said, we won the first down battle, and just leave it at that.
Hey, VA still undefeated this year against Winnipeg.
But
Okay.
over the weekend, did you guys see the Calgary game? How they beat Toronto? I think.
Yeah.
I
heavy
think.
dose of run.
Yeah.
Heavy dose of starting quarterback goes down. Starting tailback goes down.
But all I saw was, again, I saw the highlight package, and all I saw was, this is an interesting development, and he's limping. Like, what happened? Like, did he get hit? Did he just roll it or do something rolling out? Like, non-contact injury?
I didn't get a really good view of what happened to Chet Kelly.
Yeah, I think he might have taken a hit, but he didn't show that he was hurt until, one or two plays later.
And then Ouellette going off, like they said, this is the play just before he goes off. He, looks like a regular run. He bowls over some people. Didn't look like his leg was rolled up on. Didn't look like anything. And then he goes off sideline and tosses his helmet. And he's hurt. Did he dislocate his shoulder on that hit? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Nobody made contact with his lower body, so I'm thinking it's not a leg injury.
Yeah, not sure too. But I think kudos to Calgary. From what I saw there, it was Calgary scheming, knowing the weakness that they had. They didn't throw any long passes, or very little long passes. It was just all short passes. And then they relied heavily on the run. And
that special teams gaff by Leak.
Yeah. So that strategy worked. So we gotta, we have Evans in, maybe we should have, schemed with his strengths and weaknesses, as opposed to trying to run the same plays that VA was running. That's what Calgary did, and they won. And now they're coming into BC this weekend.
Feeling pretty good about themselves. So
exactly,
again, the Lions better be ready. And again, after we beat Winnipeg 30-6, they came into Montreal, and they were on the road, I believe. They went into Montreal. It wasn't a big victory, but they were angry. You could tell the way they were playing. They were angry, and they were saying, we're now setting a different standard. These Lions, if they want to call themselves championship pedigree, if they want to go through Winnipeg, because that's where you got to go to get the Grey Cup, they better raise the standard and better raise the intensity and better play angry.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Coming
intensity.
Up on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
We shall see.
We shall see.
I'm inviting all of those people, all of those incredible subscribers to that Lions forum on Facebook. I'm going to throw our links in there again with the permission of the administrators. Please give us your comments, your likes, your dislikes, your agreements, your disagreements, and let us know. Do the Lions need an X factor from now until the end of the season? Or are you going to be, let's just see with Arthur? Because again, I'm still angry. I'm running out of this stuff. and I've got no more ice water left, so I'm starting to heat up again.
No,
All right.
no, he's
Okay.
heating up. Get out.
That's all right. Okay.
Passion Corner is right around the corner.
Well,
I'm
it
sure
is.
of it.
No,
It is.
no,
It is
it's gonna be
Passion
very
Corner now.
passionate.
It's Passion Corner now. So let's get this queued up. Okay, Greg. Passion Corner time.
It's time for Passion Corner, as you guys have heard. And again, I'm out of my pink stuff here, so this passion is going to be nothing but burn, 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 burn. 50-14. How on earth, and I've had 4 days to think about it, how on earth am I going to find some prop points in this mess? But you know what? I did find a silver lining in this crappy rain cloud of a game, and that goes to number 95, Mr. Marcus Moore. First game as a Lion, I believe he was inserted into the rotation for Josh Banks. He played a heck of a game, and like Arthur said, of course you're going to have fresh legs on however long he's been resting. But hey, you know what? Tipped the ball, followed, continued with the play, stayed focused, made an interception. Props to Marcus Moore. Keep him in the rotation if we have to. Maybe you sit some guys who aren't pulling their weight. Don't know. That's up to Ryan Phillips and Rick Campbell. On the other side of my passion points, the poop points, there is a lot to go around. Like I said in Toronto, bring out a kitty litter box for these Lions because they were pooping everywhere. But again, I can only talk about one guy. And I'm, as much as I hate to do this, I'm going to have to call out my man, RP, Ryan Phillips, our defensive coordinator, who has gotten 6 out of the 8 weekly awards on the CFL site. Come on, man. You got to make some adjustments. You got to have better body language than that. You are the leader of that defense. It is your scheme, your responsibility to keep those guys accountable to execution. You failed to do that, and so I'm going to have to give you some poop, Mr. Phillips. And if I'm calling you out, great. Come back with an attitude and infuse that attitude into those 12 defensive guys because they need to get nasty. Honorable mentions and dishonorable mentions. What can I say? Oh, before I forget too, Ryan Phillips, you needed to do better adjusting. You didn't do it. I don't know if you were as fatigued as the rest of you guys. But honorable mention, I got to go to special teams. Yeah, they had a lot of practice. They had a lot of kickoff returns. I got to give it to them though. They had decent returns. There was that one big return by Mr. Terry Williams. Is it because I gave you some poop points before? I like to think so. But you know what? Run that vector. Go on that angle, to the sidelines. You have the speed, or so you're advertised, to beat the corner. Beat the corner, good return. Also got to give it to the coverage guys. They had Greg McCrae back there. He's been busting them up against every other team in the league. You guys held them in check. Maybe they weren't scheming enough to run it back down your throat because they wanted to take the whole field and embarrass our defense with their wonderfully offensive execution. But you know what, special teams, you got my honorable mention. Dishonorable mentions got to go to my man, number 29, Mr. Edwards Cooper. A PI call when you lost the ball and you were already out of bounds, almost. You tackle the guy just cause? I mean, man, maybe you can't see the ball, but you would hear it thud into that body if he makes the catch. Horrible play, horrible decision, horrible execution, poop, 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 poop. Or, dishonorable mention because it led to a touchdown. Lions D, Lions O, Lions special teams, Lions coaches, better bring it against Calgary because they're going to have a bit of a swagger now. I'm out.
All right, there you go. Passionate Coach Greg on his passion corner.
Down to the last drop, guys. Sick to my stomach of that effort in Winnipeg. I can't tell you how much. I can't tell you anymore. I'm out of gas.
All right, let's put that behind us. Looking forward to Calgary. Yeah, just BC needs to show up. They need to bring the intensity. No excuses this time.
No, none. That if Calgary's going to come in run heavy with Dedrick Mills, because I'm not sure is the name escaped me now. Kadeem Carey, is he still on the injured list?
We'll find out more information as the week progresses.
Okay, well, whoever the ball carrier is, somebody better light him up within the rule. Well, we won't go there, but somebody better light that ball carrier up the first time they touch that ball and set a tone. Right? BC plays used to be a tough place to play in because of the noise, because of the numbers. Mr. Dolman is doing everything in his power to get that back. Well, how about some of that nastiness on the field that the Orange Crush defense used to have back in the 80s when the dome was full? Let's get it as full as we can. Let's drown out Calgary. Let's bury Calgary and get ready for Winnipeg. Every game from this point on, have the X factor. That's what Gary Peters does on the field. Every single time, back it up.
All right, there you go. So let's see how it goes. We'll catch us on our next episode where we're going to be talking about the Calgary game. So thanks everyone. Appreciate you joining our show. And as Greg said, leave us your thoughts. Any disagreements or agreements on what we said. If there's stuff that you want us to talk about that we haven't talked about, let us know. Let us know what you think. We'd love to put content in that you guys are interested in.
Let's Talk Lions Forum on Facebook. I'm going to be back in there all week, flapping my gums or tapping my keys, however you want to say it in Facebook. Come on back here, guys, to Instagram, to our Twitter, to our Facebook page, to our YouTube videos. Leave your comments, leave your feedback, leave your opinions. Love to hear from you guys because we are all Lions fans. We are all Leo's Legion. We got to bring this team back to the championship team that they're supposed to be.
I will be absolutely shocked if they have another poor effort. I think BC is going to come with a big effort, and I think they're going to execute well. They're going to be well rested, and I think you'll see a completely different team at home. They haven't had a lot of home games. They've had a lot of road games. So home cooking, and they play better at home. And I think you're going to see a much better effort. Just how I'm thinking about it. I think you just have to. You're going to have games in a long season in football that you're just going to say, you know what? We're going to learn. We're going to learn that a team of Winnipeg's pedigree is going to come out hard. They couldn't match it for whatever reason. They couldn't execute, rest, prep, whatever. Right? Let's quickly forget about it. Let's establish what you mentioned is let's establish aggressiveness and intensity against Edmonton. I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to cruise to a win. They're going to cruise to a win. Calgary, yes, what Roland says, they executed their game plan well. They had Cameron Dukes throwing not great.
Nope.
And, that's not Toronto's team without Ouellette and Kelly. Those are two big pillars. And you take out of there that as a completely different team. Yeah, Calgary's going to have them swagger. But I think BC's gonna do it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Bring the X Factor defense.
Yeah, defense needs to show up. Defense needs to show up. So I'm going to make a prediction, and hopefully some of the Lions defense is listening to kind of 2 interceptions and 2 sacks. Okay, defense. Live up to my predictions, because so far my predictions haven't been coming to pass. So we're relying on you, BCD.
Well, dare I say, our D seem to have Mayor's number so far. I love the prediction from Brother Arthur that we're going to play to a higher standard. I love the prediction from Brother Roland. So Leo's Legion, let's get out there and support our team, make him relevant for Mr. Dolman. He's doing everything he can for this team. Let's support him. We love these Lions. Let's go.
All right. See you next time, guys. Bye-bye.